Warning, this podcast, website, and associated social media accounts are intended for audiences of legal drinking age. We do not advocate overconsumption or the abuse of alcohol. Never drink and drive, drink responsibly. And please remember to always take what we say with a grain of salt. After all, we are just some dudes with some brews.
We started out by crawling out from under the thumb of the man. The lovers of God with dad bods, just trying to feed our fam. Go sit right there and grab a beer, you know just what to do. Throw it back, get hammered, and listen to Dudes and Brews.
I mean, it is what it is. So I'll tell you this. So yesterday I was bored, so I went and played disc golf. On the way home, I stopped at two different places. Two different breweries. One, I was hungry, so I stopped at a place in the colony called Union Bear. Have you ever been?
No, I haven't heard of it, but I bet it's high class. Anything in the colony is going to be like upscale.
Dude,
Upscale?
they call it a brewery, but honestly, it's a restaurant. Mm-hmm. It's a restaurant.
Do they have like hostess wearing button-up shirts like at Red Lobster or something?
He may have been wearing a button-up shirt. I don't recall. I know, like, all the bartenders were just wearing, like, T-shirts.
Oh, okay. Then it's not so upscale.
Yeah.
Because I would think that, like, when I think upscale, it's all the staff is wearing button-ups, especially the bartenders.
Yeah, no, the bartenders weren't.
Okay, cool.
So, like,
it's nice, though. Yeah, this is it.
Pictures of it. Yeah, this is it right here. So, I mean, it's really nice. Honestly, it looks really good. It looks cool. There's a spot in the back where you can walk to the back, and it's like this big patio, and the patio is shared with all the other businesses that are in that, I don't know, you can call it a shopping center.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it that, but there's other restaurants and stuff there, so everybody shares that. It's real big and huge.
Nice.
They have really good beer. I mean, yesterday I drank an IPA, like a hazy, and they had a blood orange wit, which was actually really good. I mean, the wit, I felt like I was chewing on wheat, because I think it was a little too wheaty for me, personally. But I mean, it was
for
good.
A blood orange, you would think that's like a juicy, like kind of like the juicy IPA is a blood orange,
right? Yeah. So I think, but no, I mean, I've been there twice now. The food's good. Honestly, it'd be a great place to go on a date.
Okay, well, let me check it out here. Let me see some pictures.
So
now you're talking date.
Yeah.
So let's see it.
Like this, all this right here is open seating. This is when you first walk in. It's open seating, or there's a restaurant over here on the end if you want to get a table and you can do like restaurant style. Otherwise, like, this is all the open bar seating, and I've only sat at the bar.
And what'd you eat?
I had some fish tacos.
Okay.
I mean, they were legit. Let me see if it shows the back patio here.
Right there. That's a good picture.
No.
That's community.
That's not it. Let me see.
It says Union Bear, though.
Oop. I don't know if
and when you start getting in the city and the upscale areas, they have a lot of those like areas where they want you to hop from one business to another.
Yeah, and that's the way it looked. I mean, because I drove around the back so I could get back on the highway the right way. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time I saw it. When I drove around the back, I go, "Oh, that thing's just huge!" And it just has a sign to tell you that this is this in particular business. So you just walk into that business from there.
Nice. It's like the mall, the modern day mall.
Right.
It's all town center type stuff.
Right.
But I've even seen some where they have like parks that are between them. So they'll have like a deck and businesses and then like a little park.
Yeah, they have that over there by, I don't know what it's called. Maybe it's like where the Cheesecake Factory is.
Yes, that's one of the examples.
Yeah. I don't know what that area is called. It's not Legacy Hall.
I know what it's called and I forgot.
But yeah,
I've been there a few times. But there's a place over there.
Market Street over there.
There's a crepe place. And where you can get crepes, and then it has a park. So that's where I've been there is for the crepes.
Is it something Frog?
I think so.
I've
think so.
I've taken.
And it's even got like a tree house that your kids can play in, and with a slide and stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah, on the outside, but it's like not the Frog place, but I think it is Frog.
It's something Frog, and it's like
crepes. Yeah, Frog. This is it. Frog Cafe. So it's the same idea though, where it just has a deck on the backside and it connects it to other businesses and it makes it like where it's really popping on the weekends.
Yeah, I've been to this. It's not going to show a picture.
It's alright. That crepe place is alright, but I'm not. It's kind of like I'm not a big crepe person.
No, but it's easy to take a date there. So that's the only reason why I've been. You get a cup of coffee, maybe crepes if you want to. It's a good place that's quiet. You can have a conversation.
Go down the slide a couple times.
Get to know somebody. Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
No.
But so Union Bear, if you haven't been, you haven't been,
no.
you need to go.
For sure.
Take your wife on a date. The food's good. The beer's good. You go on a Saturday, like I went around like 2:30, 3 o'clock. It was packed to the gills.
I bet.
Like, so get there early. But yeah, the place is great. So you want a new place to go. But on the way home, I took 289. So on the way home, I ran through Salina. And I knew they had a brewery out there in Salina. And they do. It's called Rollertown Beer Works. So I roll in. This place is packed. It's real small. Mm-hmm. Like there's like they have a really small parking lot. And then I guess they block off part of, I don't know if you want to call it a parking lot or outdoor seating, where they block it off and they just had like cornhole or I don't know if there's tournaments, but cornhole guys playing. There were a couple of food trucks, and then you go in and the place, I thought it was kind of small, but maybe I thought it was small because they actually had an event going on. They had sumo wrestling.
So you thought it was small because the sumo wrestlers were taking up all the space.
I guess. Yeah, I guess, because here's a picture. And this is so, like, the way I would explain it is that it's a big square and they have, like, an L-shaped bar. Uh-huh. And this is one of the sides of the bar that's basically the entire floor is being taken up.
I bet they normally have chairs and tables here, right?
I mean, I would think, yeah. You would think.
Wow. And then on the left-hand side there, those tall chairs, that's like the bar, right?
There's a bar over here, yeah. Yeah, the bar comes out and it does, like, this little L thing, yeah.
Sumo wrestling. Who would have even thought there were sumo wrestlers in Texas?
I would have never thought. So, in doing research, because I wasn't there very long, because honestly, I was tired. I really just wanted to check out the vibe, maybe have a beer, grab something to go. And I'm like, hey, instead of having a beer, I checked out some sumo wrestling.
You got some different vibes. Wait, so did you know the sumo was going on before you got there?
Not at all.
Oh, so you're like, let's see what kind of vibes I get into,
yes.
And then boom, you were vibing with some huge men.
Dude, like
half naked.
I walk up and I'm like, this place is packed, and I'm like, it looks like people are waiting in line to get inside. I said, forget about this. I'm just gonna do my thing. I need to go to the restroom real quick. So I just try to squeeze by people, and then I'm like, oh, this is why everybody's packed. Everybody's watching this right now.
Wow. Yeah, and that guy on the right looks a little skinny.
So honestly, there weren't really huge guys. Mm-hmm. Like this white dude right here was pretty big. This dude behind him was pretty big.
Oh yeah, that guy's really built sumo.
But for the most part, like
the guy on the left looks
big.
Samoan, so he's gonna be bigger, big boned.
Yeah,
got them thick thunder thighs.
Right, like I think because this is after doing some research, it looked like it was Dallas Sumo Club is who hosted it. So they have a video right here.
Welcome to the Dallas Sumo Club. This is the venue?
Yeah. This is at Rollertown, yeah.
Okay.
Getting it. So, like, before every match, there was a guy here, like, where this big dude is here on this side. He would stand there and he would show you how to do, like, the whole hand movements and everything, so it would be, like, super official. Because it's all about a respect thing. You gotta respect everybody. And this dude right here in the cowboy hat, oh, man. Ass hanging out of the back of his pants the whole time. You gotta walk behind them to go to the restroom.
You had no idea what you were getting into.
No, not at all.
Oh, this is great. You just go in, you're like, excuse me, where's the restroom? And then you see ass.
Right.
And you're like, whoa, what's going on? Sumo. Dude, this is like, have you ever heard of the places, like the bars where that you can wrestle a bear? Have you ever seen these events? It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Where I don't know if it happens anymore due to like animal rights stuff, but it used to be in Oklahoma where they would just bring a bear around, and then it's like whoever wants to wrestle him, this is the money that you can win for wrestling him. Yeah, it's a real thing. We can look it up in a minute.
That sounds like a Russian thing, but okay.
It does sound very Russian, but they should do that with this. Like they just show up at bars, like who wants to sumo? Yeah. You know what I mean? Take your shirt off and get out there and start shoving a man.
Get out of here. I mean, I would imagine that they have to have some sort of insurance of some kind because somebody ended up getting hurt. Like, I looked away for a second and then I just heard someone yelling.
And then you're like, man.
And then I looked over and there was a girl on the ground and she was holding her shoulder. So, like, it sounded like, based on what I had heard, that she may have like popped her shoulder out of socket, like when she landed.
Mm-hmm. So she was shoved by another woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There were some women that were doing it as well.
And they're like, were they bigger women?
No, not
Or just
really.
regular?
I mean,
oh man,
I wouldn't say like massive. I mean, they were maybe a little bigger, but like not what you would think when you think sumo wrestling. Like you think like super massively obese people, and that wasn't the case at all.
Yeah, well, because it's a traditional thing.
Yeah.
So they do eat a lot, but there are sumo. I've seen sumo wrestlers that aren't so giant,
right?
But they're still bigger.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest guy here would be like a small one in the traditional form, but I've never seen women. So do they wear like a sports bra and like a diaper still?
I mean, so the diaper goes over their outfit, so they're wearing like tights and like I would say like what people would wear to do like jujitsu, like a rash guard.
Okay.
Like a rash guard and some tights maybe. Mm-hmm. Maybe like some short tights.
And then you have to put the diaper on? Is it part of the thing?
That's part of the tradition, yeah.
Oh,
so everybody was wearing that. You can call it a diaper, yeah.
Whenever it's white and that's all you have on, it looks like a diaper.
And that's what that cowboy guy was wearing.
That cowboy was rocking it. He was going full tradition.
Yeah. And I don't even know if he was doing anything. I think he was just hosting it. Which made it even funnier.
He just chose that live. Dang, look at this. This guy's working him. Dude, I want to get out there and do this. Like, I feel like where I would never have the courage to maybe do karaoke, I would have the courage to do sumo.
Really?
Yeah. Even though you're
even if you have to get in the get up?
I feel like that would make me even more like give me courage. I feel like if I put the get up on, I would just be like, I'm doing this.
Right.
You know, I'm in the zone.
Well, apparently it was a big deal because they actually released a beer for this event, and I actually bought some just so I could try it. They released a Japanese lager.
Rollertown. Rollertown sounds like a skating rink, so I'm surprised that it's a brewery, but I'm not mad at it. And then this is, okay.
And it's the House of the Warlords Japanese lager.
Warlords.
I don't know anything about a Japanese lager. I mean, I know what a lager is, and gonna be honest, most lagers I'm not a huge fan of, but I haven't had a whole lot of craft lagers. I've only had...
I love lagers. I don't know about a Japanese lager, though.
Yeah.
I feel like at like a hibachi place, I've had a Japanese beer, and maybe it was a lager, but it was a long time ago, and I don't remember anything about it. I don't even remember what they're called. You know what I mean? But like Tokyo, I remember I've been to Tokyo before, where I just got a Japanese beer just because. It's kind of like when in Rome.
Right.
Kind of like when you're watching sumo. When in Rome, you get in the ring. You just do it.
No, I've done the same thing going to like Fogo de Chao, which is a Brazilian steakhouse, and getting a Brazilian beer.
Yeah, you're like I gotta get the full experience. Yeah. So this is super cool. What better way to get a full experience of a Japanese beer than to see sumo wrestlers while you're buying it?
Right, that's what I was saying.
This is great.
Yeah, so, alright, let's crack this one open.
And I'm guessing this is a sumo guy on here, right? With the bandage on his face?
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like that was the logo, like the...
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, I think they have something on there.
They got it. Oh,
yeah,
there
right
it
here.
is. Okay, there's the full picture.
Yeah.
Nice.
They had a whole schedule and everything, so it's like, alright.
They had a kids demonstration. They had a stretching event that happened first called Suriyashi.
And then they had some guy doing some taiko drum. I don't know.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, apparently it was legit. Like it definitely seemed that way when I saw like all the hand movements and stuff. Where there was like, dude, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna stay with tradition. We're gonna try to do this as traditional as possible. So I wasn't mad at it. Honestly, if you're gonna do it right. That's my opinion on it.
Dude, this is a beautiful lager. Look at that. That is so beautiful.
Oh, dude, the color's good. It's nice and clear.
Yes.
Whatever they did it right.
Mm-hmm. What are you getting on the smell? It's interesting.
I'm getting beer. Like, this is what I would call...
I know, it's interesting. That smells like beer.
Like, this is what I think beer smells like.
This is what beer should smell like whenever you don't tamper with it too much and make it into something non-beer.
Well, it makes me just... So growing up, my parents, my brothers, they drank your American Light Lager, like a Bud Light or a Coors Light. And this is what it smells like, because that's what I think beer smells like.
That's funny, because I think I have a distinct smell of, like, domestic beer.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Nothing else smells like it, but it doesn't smell good. This smells a little better than that. So on our scale here, where's the smell at?
So most of these are smells outside of like this taste and texture. I'm not getting a whole lot out of it.
I know, me neither. I think we're gonna end up going with the biological.
Maybe. Like, are we just smelling yeast?
That's what I'm thinking. It's just like a bready, a yeasty smell.
It's not butter.
It's not skunky either.
Is it sherry? I don't know what sherry smells like.
I don't either. But it says alcoholic. See, like,
right.
Yeah, and it definitely doesn't have like that boozy smell to it.
No, it doesn't at all.
It smells lighter than the color of it.
Oh yeah, no, it smells like this should be like over here in this like light yellow color, and it's got a nice copper color to it.
It's got a good taste to it. Kind of reminds me of like a youngling.
Oh, Yingling?
Is that how you say it? Yingling?
Yingling, yeah.
Yeah, youngling's like a Star Wars term, right?
Younglings, I would...
Isn't that the kid?
Say it's a
Jedis?
child.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought a young Jedi with a Padawan.
Maybe. We've already done the Star Wars episode, and we showed our knowledge of Star Wars. But I think they call them younglings too. But I think a youngling is just a general term for kids. A youthful, naive, untrained person. Type in youngling. Let's just see like if it's universal, like you can apply this to any situation. A young person or animal, yeah. You could.
Yeah.
A little youngling. But look at that second one. People also ask, who is a youngling in Star Wars?
It says, is youngling a Jedi? Youngling was a term used for any child or species.
Yep.
Were taken to the Jedi temple to be trained as Jedi. So that's why you got it.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
so I guess we were both kind of
We
right.
were. But
right.
when Anakin, like, kills all the kids, they killed all the younglings.
See, that's why
he goes
you,
through and just
got
murders them. Yeah, when a group of kids get murdered mercilessly, you remember.
Right.
It stands out to you.
You know, I was hesitant getting a lager, but I'm glad I did. This is actually really damn good.
Yeah.
It's really nice and refreshing.
It's refreshing, and it's refreshing to taste a beer that tastes like beer again. Because I'm not trying to hate on, like, craft beers. I love craft beers, and I drink them all the time. But because I drink them all the time, I don't drink Yingling type beer.
Well, so I think one thing that we get spoiled with, and I think I do the same thing whenever I brew beer, is we don't want to drink the same thing over and over again. So we try to innovate and we try to like push the envelope. And what that does is we take a traditional style and we kick it up a notch.
Yep.
There's a part of me that goes, sometimes I just want the traditional style.
Yeah. And
sometimes I just want a wit. Sometimes I just want a lager. Yeah.
And I think I don't even know that I want that until now. When I'm drinking it, I'm like, oh, this is good.
Right. Because your mind goes to, hey, a cream ale sounds good, but let's add some extra stuff. Let's add some coffee to it.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds great. But honestly, drinking a cream ale right now might just be the way to go.
I don't know if I've ever had just a cream ale with nothing else in it.
Oh, really?
Can you think of one? It's always a cream ale flavored with something.
I feel like I have, but I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, because I know the first cream ale I had was the Chosen one.
Right.
Which has coconut.
It's, coconut, but then I've had, like, strawberry.
Oh, yeah, and they've done all kinds of cream ales.
I know, like, what other breweries do cream ales?
I feel like I have had just a regular old cream ale, though.
Do you still do, like, the subscription service for craft beer?
I don't.
When you did that, do you have the option to pick and choose beers? Like, can you say, like, hey, what cream ales do you have right now that I can pick and choose?
You can go through and you can choose a little bit, depending on what they have available for that for that month.
Mm-hmm.
You can do random, or you can go in and choose your own. You can even pay extra to get specific beers that were from last month or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you definitely can through Get Beer Drop, but I always just let them choose for me, so it would be a complete surprise.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you can through Get Beer Drop.
Okay. Because I was thinking if that's the case, maybe you could just look at a cream ale. Oh, here we go. 5 best cream ales.
Yeah, I was going to see what they had here. This is of 2021. I guess it's a little early in the year for them to do one for this year.
Just dry hopped. vanilla, creamsicle. It's gonna have an orange taste.
Yep,
The vanilla bean. I like that it's barrel cream ale.
Ooh, pistachio.
That pistachio seems interesting.
I mean, have you ever had like pistachio ice cream?
Yeah, and it's interesting.
Great.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do too. It's different.
My sister-in-law makes like we always have it for like the holidays for like Thanksgiving. She makes like a fruit salad.
Oh yeah.
Now fruit salad, the way we do it in the South is it's got like whipped cream and marshmallows and all kinds of stuff. And my sister-in-law adds pistachio to it, so it's green. It's so good. So good.
I haven't had a fruit salad in so long. I can't even think of the last time I had one.
Yeah,
I feel like it was school.
It's been a couple of years for me. My mom would make it every year.
It's interesting.
And then I've had it a couple times with my sister-in-law. It just depends on whose house I go to.
Did you ever have one at school? Like, was it in the government cafe?
No, we would do like fruit cocktail, like out of a can.
Oh yeah, that too. That too.
yeah.
I know, and I love that. And then you get who gets the cherry, right?
Right.
There's always like one cherry out of everybody at the table. Yeah.
Man, I haven't had that stuff since I was in school.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go get a can of that. You should brew something with that. Fruit cocktail, just an assortment of fruits.
So it sounds like a good idea, but again...
Yeah, we go back to our problem.
We're going back to our issue, yeah.
But the syrup in there, I feel like that syrup would just add a lot of flavor.
I don't know. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'd have
what
to...
would that syrup do?
I'd have to make sure that it's pasteurized first so that there's no additional chemicals coming in and like sour it up a little bit.
And I doubt that it is.
Yeah.
I bet it's so...
Which, I mean, you can boil it and pasteurize it and get all the stuff out of it, but I tried that once. I don't think I did it right. So that's why the last time I used fruit, I just bought it from a company. I bought it pureed and already pasteurized, so I didn't have to mess with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to that kind of stuff. And, after talking to some of the brewers and, like, commercial brewers, they say that's just the easiest way to go.
Yeah, and it's so temperamental.
Right.
You could screw it up. I bet you could find some fruit cocktail puree.
Probably.
It's just like a mixture of everything.
Yeah, I'd have to look.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I don't think I've ever had a beer that's just a cocktail of fruits. Grape.
So they do like grape, pear, cherry.
Yeah.
Peaches are in there.
Yep. Peaches and pears you don't find together very often.
I think that's about it, isn't it?
I think that is it, yeah. Yeah, and then syrup.
Yeah.
Whatever that syrup is.
Some sort of, yes, some sort of syrup.
Yeah, I don't think that's natural. That didn't come from the fruit.
So I'll tell you this, I'm pleasantly surprised by this beer. Because honestly, I wasn't thinking I was going to enjoy a lager, and I'm really enjoying this lager.
Yeah, it's good. So let's see what the ABV is here.
5.5.
5.5, so it's pretty basic.
Which is honestly good.
It is great.
Yeah. 5.5 to 6 is honestly probably the best ABV for just your... It makes it to where the beer's crushable.
Yeah, and also it doesn't get so boozy that you lose the taste.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It gets to a point where it tastes a little alcohol-y, especially if it's not very carbonated.
Right.
The
I would
carbonation has to really be there.
I'd say anything over 7%, it starts to get... You start to muddy the waters a little bit. Yeah. So, in traditional Dudes and Brews fashion, we got to rate it.
Yep.
So what are you thinking on this one?
I'm going to give it a 4. It's a solid beer.
Yeah, I was thinking like 4.25. Just because, I mean...
I'll go 4.25.
I'm feeling it right now.
Yeah, let's do 4.25.
What's this thing called?
It's something about Warlords. House of Warlords.
I wonder where they got that.
I know, to me there's just some conflicting things here. The image doesn't say Sumo. But unless I knew it was Sumo.
It kind of does. If you look at the full image, it kind of does.
Yeah. Alright, let's see it again. I mean, it's like, now that I know it's Sumo, I can see that this guy could be a sumo wrestler. But there's not enough skin showing. Like, they missed an opportunity to have a half-naked man on the can. That would have been awesome. Like, imagine E. Honda from Street Fighter. Like, a character that looks like that. And then imagine if he was, like, his hands were crushing the hops or something.
Like, just instead of having, like, half the face, just have a full-fledged man here.
Yeah, and I feel like this image I love. I could put that on another beer. And it's not going to hurt it.
Yeah. I think it looks cool.
I like the style. Do they have like the same kind of similar style with their other beers. Animation,
Let's
like
find
it's really
out.
cool. I like it.
Let's find out. I had never
Solid, bold colors.
I had never been here. I had only heard of them online. I know one of them does like a radio show. One of the owners, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were advertising some radio show.
Juice serum. Oh, Brian will love that. That juicy DDH.
Yep. And then they have a light American lager, Kolsch.
And with that War Daddy, look at how the head on that War Daddy. Ooh.
Yeah, I ended up getting some, so I mean, I'll send you home with one of them so
that
you can try
looks
it.
good. And they got a barrel aged. Dude, the head on that thing.
Looks so creamy.
Anytime that I have like is it a stout? I'm assuming it's a stout. Anytime I have a stout that has a very thin head, even if it's carbonated, it sends this subliminal message to me where it's going to taste very boozy.
Oh,
but whenever I have that view in my eyesight, oh man, it just...
So this is an
Sings
Imperial.
my-
I think it comes in at 10%, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
If I read the can correctly. Yeah, I don't know what the artwork is. It doesn't
I
say
had
the
an
artwork on
Imperial... Remember when on the podcast we did one with Billy Jenkins or something like that? Bobby Jenkins?
It's like it was like a Bach, right?
Yeah, it was a Bach.
Yeah.
That brewery. I only know it was that brewery because it was another instance where I peeled the label off and I'm like, it's the Billy Jenkins. But it was, Billy Jenkins. But that brewery at Walmart Marketplace, they had in their $7 section,
From
Wild Acre.
Wild Acre, okay.
But they have a blonde, right? And it's a classic blonde that they have. However, the one that they had in here is an Imperial blonde with pineapple. And it was like 7.5 ABV. It was so good.
That's interesting.
It was so good.
Because pineapple usually I wouldn't think comes through very well in the beers.
But it's that, I think that higher alcohol really helped.
I wonder if I can find it on here.
Yeah.
I was assuming it was a...
But I've never had that beer right there, but it was
Blonde.
it was an Imperial version of right there. That's it. 7.5.
The Imperial pineapple.
Imperial pineapple. I barely even saw pineapple at the bottom. I
Yeah.
bought it just simply because it was $7.
Right.
And then on the way out, and I saw it was an Imperial blonde, and then it was 7.5, and I was like, wow, this is high alcohol blonde. I don't even think I knew it was Imperial.
6-pack?
Yeah, 6-pack.
Even better.
Yeah.
$7 for a 6-pack of 7.5%.
Dude, you have to check out the neighborhood marketplace in Sherman. On the end cap.
It's one over there by the church?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Any of the beers that people don't buy, and people don't buy any beer other than, what they're normally buying.
Yeah.
So all of their, I'm afraid what's going to happen is they're going to quit stocking so much craft beer.
That's what happened at Albertsons. They stocked outside of 903 because 903 pays for an end cap.
Right.
They don't stock near as much craft beer as they did, say, a year and a half ago.
So I have a feeling because they're marking them down so much. But I go in there, every time I go in there, I just check that section. I'm like, whatever you got for $7, I'll buy it just because I'll see what it's about.
Yeah.
So
I mean, honestly, it's really rough on breweries here in Sherman.
Yeah, everybody you either like 903 or you're not into craft beer.
That's exactly it. Other beer doesn't sell very well.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks because I love 903. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll drink their beer all day, but I like variety. And I mean, they do put out a lot of variety, so I can't say anything about that either.
But they've gotten to a place where they put out a lot of variety of the fruited sours.
It's that or pastry stouts, which pastry stouts are cool, but
the season they're getting into the season.
I
of
was gonna
pastry
say,
stouts.
but they're gonna get out of that here soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming they'll start doing more of those pastry cream ales that they used to do.
I think so. Yeah.
Just
Oh,
really
not
easy to put
stouts.
those
You're
out.
right. Not pastry stouts. Pastry cream ales is what I thought you were saying. They are transitioning into that cream.
Yeah, that's just because it's starting to get warmer outside. So I don't know. I like their stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I really do. I just want to see what everybody else has. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like we're almost city folks here, but we're so in the country.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by country towns, small towns.
Oh, yeah.
We're on the border of Oklahoma, and there is no cities except for like Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City and
Oklahoma
Tulsa, that's
is
it.
small country towns.
Yeah.
So we are like the last, I say the best city, the last good city in Texas before you get to nothing.
Okay.
So I think because of that, there's not a big market, and the market that we do have are people who have got into craft beer because of 903, and then they 903 puts out so many beers that's what they get.
Oh, and I love how loyal people are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Loyalty with a small town vibe is honestly it makes it really really good.
Yeah.
It makes me love living here, to be honest.
Yeah, because there's 2 breweries in Denison, and I don't see their beers anywhere.
So I know Say When, from what I understand, they're still really small and they're still trying to grow. So they do have their beers on tap at the Green Growler.
Right.
You can get those at all times there. I think you can get them out on tap at like Old Iron Post, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I think I saw them there. But the other place,
Ivanhoe.
Ivanhoe, from what I understand, and I've only heard through the grapevine, that they don't care about getting big. That there was some guy that wanted to start a brewery as a hobby, and he's just wanting to make enough money that he can continue to do his hobby. He doesn't care about
growing. Kind of like your dream. That's what you want to do.
Kind of.
You know, it's like not get rich, but...
Yeah, I don't care about getting rich.
You just want to be able to do what you want to do.
Yeah, just enjoy what I do, yeah. And that's what it sounds like there. So from what I understand, they only sell at their tap room.
Oh, really? Okay, that makes sense.
That's the way I understand that, yeah.
Denison is so loyal to Denison, though. Like
they're even more small town than Sherman.
They are so loyal. You go to any of the Denison events, the whole town's there.
100%.
Whole town's there. Everybody's going there. They're having a blast.
All the local businesses have got something on their windows and supporting the schools.
Exactly. So the Green Growler does really good because it's basically small town vibes, but they bring in craft beer to the small town.
Right.
So, props
honestly,
for what they're doing.
I love the Green Growler. I don't go in there very often, but when I do, there's always something new. The guys are always extremely friendly. All the food's good. I did find out last time I was there, though, that they have a certain, I don't know if you call it a market or a setup of some kind, a structure. They don't want they do short-term leases on those restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
Because they want them to move in and out.
Yeah, it's because it's called the try incubator.
Yeah.
You just try out your business. It's not intended to be a long-term stay.
I assumed it was. I was like, cool, I like this place. You need to be here every time I come in.
Like I followed them before they opened.
Right.
So I knew about it before they opened, and I knew about the idea behind it, and I was like, oh, that's a really cool idea. But then once they opened, it did turn into, like, the Green Growler. Are those the people who own the place?
No, from what I understand, they just rent out their little spot.
Okay, because they have, like, the best spot. When you get in there, you look straight ahead. It's a big bar, tons of taps, and then everybody else kind of looks like they're, like, you know, the sister or brother to the Green Growler. It's almost like the food trucks to the Green Growler.
Right. Which, honestly, is not a bad idea.
Yeah, but the idea is great. The idea to say, hey, I have a business where anybody can come in and cook their food and sell it and then see if people like it and can get behind it, and then those people can go get a food truck or go start their own business.
Right.
But it's like you have to have a fan following a lot of times. The restaurant industry is rough. And a lot of small businesses are restaurants. That's like anybody can start up a restaurant. But that doesn't mean any restaurant's going to be successful.
Dude, I get it. You're absolutely right. A lot of people want to start restaurants, but from what I understand, like 30% of restaurants actually do good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's you're destined to fail.
Well, and that's what's weird.
Which sucks.
Because restaurants have such a high failure rate, you'll be surprised. I'm surprised how many times I go to small restaurants and they suck. Either the food sucks, the service sucks. Something's just, it's like not hitting on all cylinders.
So a part of you goes, oh, no wonder why these guys fail.
Yeah, I'm just like, what the heck? Why I come in here and it smells like sewage?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like you're in a very tough industry where there's tons of competition. Like you're competing with people like fast food, like Jack in the Box and Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And then you're competing with nicer restaurants. So you have to say like, come to eat here, not anywhere else.
Right.
Come spend your money here. So you need to make it to where people come there and they're blown away.
Now, there are a couple of small places that are pretty good in town. Like, there's a place over there by by Wilson and Jones. I think it's called La Placita.
Yeah.
That place is great.
That place is great. I love that. But
I go in. It's not super high class. The service is always pretty good.
Dude, you got to call in your order ahead of time. Because, dude, they are busy.
Every time I've gone, I just walked in and,
Okay,
got a table.
You didn't go at lunchtime then.
I guess not.
Go there at lunchtime. There's no seats. Everybody, you'll see one person after another coming in for takeout orders.
Really?
But they have a niche market because we have a lot of El Salvadorian people in Sherman, and that's the one El Salvadorian restaurant.
Yeah, it's so good.
And dude, if you've never had a papusa, whoo, get on that, boy.
Papusas are on point.
Get on it. Papusas are the truth.
Speaking of ethnic food, I think there was a new place that opened up downtown. I want to say it's some sort of Asian food. Is it Korean? What is it?
It's Asian. It's poke, sushi, and like drinks, like boba teas.
No. So I've been there. That's the one over there, kind of by Academy.
No. But there's another poke place.
Holy Poke or something?
Yeah, that place is good. There's another one that opened up right behind Sellerman's, right next to Little Caesars.
No, I'm thinking of something downtown, like almost on the square, like that area.
Okay.
It's like I want to say it's like Korean food or something.
Really? Asian food in the square?
Something
I drive through there all the time.
Let me see if I can find it here. Because it's a newer place. From what I understand, I heard it's great.
Meanies is the place I was talking about. See right below that?
Yeah, Holy Poke is the place I was talking about.
Poke, I've been there before a couple times. It's really good. Nini's Charity took Amanda there yesterday for her birthday, and she brought me a sushi roll.
Yeah.
And then I took that sushi roll to the movies and watched Batman and straight smashed the sushi roll.
Okay.
Charity was like, "Oh, what? You're gonna carry this in there?" I was like, "It's in this brown bag." If they question me, I want to say it's my emotional support fish. That's my goal. Nobody questioned me though. You could just walk into the movie with the brown bag.
So this is hilarious. Good. This is actually a really good transition.
Okay.
Because I expected to talk about can you get behind emotional support animals?
If it's beneficial to me.
Because I saw a video on Instagram of a lady bringing a peacock on the airplane.
I've seen this. Yep. But dude, how did you get that in the airport?
Don't understand.
Dude, I showed this to Charity and she didn't think it was funny until she saw the peacock's head move. And she's like, "It's real?" She thought it was a stuffed peacock.
So there's this, and then I think you sent me this a long time ago. I never looked at it. This emotional support.
Did you watch it?
No, I never saw it.
Dude, you turn it up. You gotta see it. They're complaining. Show you. Look, this is real. It's a cat. Wait, it gets better. Watch. I told you. Look how offended he is. She said it's a lynx. It's an emergency service lynx. You gotta wait for the punchline.
Is that a real cat?
Wait till you see it. Wait.
It's an emergency service emotional support animal.
It doesn't look real.
Dude, but I know. Wait till you see its face.
That's allowed.
It's got googly eyes.
It's not real.
She's being dead ass serious. Look at her. She's like saying this is her emotional support links. This is kind of the thing I was trying to play. Like saying, no, this is my emotional support fish. I'm taking it to the theater.
Hers is fake, which is hilarious.
Even the dude at the beginning who's like, "It's a cat," and he's like standing up all offended, like he's the one who got the people there.
No. What it sounded like. Okay, so I can imagine he comes in and he's like, "Hey, this lady had brought a cat onto the airplane. I'm allergic to cats." And then because what it says here is that she's like, "No, I've got a baby."
Yeah, she's covering up and look like she's breastfeeding it.
And they started lifting it up like, "Oh, it's a cat! I told you! I tried to tell you!"
Like he saw some fur, and she tries to play it off like she's breastfeeding.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, no, dude.
It's one of those. It's one of those stuffed cats that you put out on display that the old ladies have.
Maybe.
Have you ever seen those?
Dude. Yes, I gotta tell you something about that in a second. But why give it googly eyes? Those googly eyes were so, like, whoever stuffed that thing did a bad job. But I watched the extended version of this, and there's like an argument that happens beforehand.
There's like a director's cut?
And like, yeah, and she claims HIPAA laws. She's like, you're breaking my HIPAA laws. And it's like, what does this have to do with HIPAA and health information protection privacy?
So let's think. I'm gonna try to think. I'm gonna try to put myself into her shoes and think about this. So
try hard.
So what she's basically saying is I have a health condition, or I wouldn't even say health condition, a mental disorder.
She sure does.
And this is how I am treating my mental disorder. So I can understand if someone says, hey, I need to see paperwork on the medication that you have. No, you don't need to see paperwork on this medication. Okay, well, I was prescribed an emotional support animal. Do you need to see paperwork on this?
Yeah.
So I kind of get where she's coming from, even though it's so stupid.
That's a stretch. No doctor's ever going to prescribe that stuffed link. Like, imagine you go to the psychiatrist and you're like, you tell him everything that's wrong with you. He's like, I got the answer. And then he pulls a links with googly eyes. He's like, here, act like you're breastfeeding this. No. It'll make everything better.
So this is the thing. Do you think that animals can be emotionally supportive?
I mean, honestly, I don't know if I can get behind that. I don't know if I can.
So I'll tell you this.
Some, yes.
Do you want me to tell you how good it feels to go over to your house and have Paige run up and act so excited to see me? It makes me feel so good.
So that's what I'm, in some sense, yes. Like, and I do think old people.
Paige happens to be a dog, by the
lonely
way.
people. Yeah. Paige, because it's a person's name, right?
Yeah, it's a dog.
But people, like, especially when you're old and especially when you lose someone, like, an animal is really good for, like, a dog or a cat is really good. So in that sense, yes. I guess I don't want to give a blanket statement because I've seen how far this emotional support animal thing goes. And
like
these two examples where you're saying you have to take it into businesses and take it on planes. It's like, no, maybe you just don't need the support when you're flying.
Dude, we're going back to 2007 when, like, Paris Hilton would carry a dog in a purse.
Yeah, it's like, maybe.
I'm like, that dog needs to stay home.
Yeah, like, exactly. Maybe you just don't need support all the time.
If you cannot leave the house without your animal, then you have other things that you need to address.
Yeah.
If separation anxiety is what you have between you and your animal, you need to address that.
Yeah, for sure.
And carrying that animal along with you, I think, is just enabling you.
But there are some, like, really extreme cases of PTSD and, like, even, like, autism and stuff like that where people, like, really get shut down and then, like, they're able to use a service animal to help them. But those cases are so rare that these kinds of people kind of polluted the whole service animal industry. Now it's just a joke.
So you think it's these kind of people are just trying to take advantage of something?
Yes, and these people just need attention.
Okay.
You know what I mean? People who, like, take their animals everywhere when it's like, what's this animal really doing? Or they have an extreme animal, not just like a dog or something that's like, you know, dogs are good because they're independent. But when you're taking something that's not independent or something that's just, I'm trying to think of a good example, like, I don't know, a skunk or something. Like, a skunk's not going to be walking with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to have
to... that peacock, you're going to have to carry it everywhere.
Yes, like, what's that peacock doing? Can you not just get a feather and put it in your pocket and remember the peacock and be like, oh,
I don't know.
I miss you.
I understand a dog because I feel like a dog shows some sort of an emotion to say that, hey, I'm happy to see you. I'm happy that you're here. Mm-hmm. I've also seen videos of dogs trying to console you whenever you're sad.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So I'm like, a cat. I don't see a cat as an emotional support animal because they don't care about anything but themselves.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard because you don't want to give just a blanket statement because there are individual situations where it's like, okay, I see benefit with this. However, the way that we see it, it's like overused. Everybody's exploiting it, taking advantage of it, and then it's lost its purpose.
So if I ask you the yes or no question, can you get behind that? It's like yes with a caveat.
Yeah, with a caveat.
Okay.
Exactly. Very big caveat.
So I'm right there with you. So I got another, can you get behind that? And I think we may have talked about this before, but I have something else I wanted to show you. So can you get behind Crocs?
Did we? Have we talked about Crocs before?
Possibly, but I got some new Crocs I wanted to show you here.
I remember we talked about the Crocs that Post Malone made and their giveaway.
So we may have talked about Crocs, but I saw these Crocs online. So on Instagram, I got this ad
Yeah.
for some Crocs, and these were the 2 Crocs that they advertised.
I know, and I've seen
Can
them.
you get behind these Crocs?
I've seen these, and I'm a little confused. I'm like, I thought they were a joke, because I'm like, what are you keeping?
No, you can buy these off Poshmark.
What are you keeping in these little containers? Your drugs? And then, do you have drugs for both feet? Like, you can't put all your, like, you have a little baggie of drugs, you can't just put it in one of them? I was confused. I'm like, is it a fishing, you put your fishing lure?
I mean, it looked like it'd be something for fishing or hiking, right?
Yeah, and one of them's got a little mesh net, but it's not very big.
So that's where you put your wet lure, so it can dry.
But then I feel like
the hook's gonna get all
the hook's
stuff.
gonna get caught. It's gonna ruin this expensive croc. So it almost seemed like these are themey to me. Like,
I mean, they are.
So there's this guy.
I kind of want to buy a pair just to have a pair.
So if you want to buy a themey pair of shoes, so I follow this guy. His name's Bowman's his last name. He's a tattoo artist. His name's Tom Bowman. However, he's really got it's Bulman. It'll probably correct it.
Yeah, let me find it here. But anyway.
But he's a tattoo artist, and I used to love his, like, he does a lot of new school tattoos.
Okay.
And he does a lot of pop culture stuff, so he's like into the same stuff I'm into. Tom, that's it, Thom. But however, he started this business where he designs custom shoes. And
Cool.
you can request whatever you want. Like, look at those Texas Chainsaw Massacres. And you see, they're always Nikes, and he customizes these Nikes.
Oh, sweet.
So they're already expensive shoes.
Yeah.
And then he, like, customizes them and does, hand paints them. So he does some really cool ones, though, dude. Like, whatever you want. So whatever
it looks
you're
like a
into,
chainsaw. That's pretty legit, dude.
Exactly. Like, he straight up cuts.
Dang.
Like, I've seen Ninja Turtle ones where the Nike check was like one of the Ninja Turtle masks.
That's what's up.
So, oh man, he does so many cool ones. There's some shredders. There's the Michelangelo one to the left. Like, look at these. And then you see that Michelangelo.
Oh, that's legit right there, dog.
See, like, he makes these, and it's, like, really cool, and I could see, like, that's what I thought the Crocs were going for, is this type of, like, themey, but then when you're showing it to me, it's like, no, this is just Crocs with compartments. I don't get it.
No, these are, so, like, this makes me think of, like, a guy that is with a girl and her dad, so his father-in-law likes to go fishing. He doesn't fish.
Yeah.
He goes to the store and buys all the gear that he thinks a fisherman is to wear, and he buys a pair of these Crocs because he thinks this is what all fishermen wear.
Yeah.
Just like they buy the vest with all the pockets and stuff. Like, nobody wears
Right.
that shit whenever they go fishing.
I bought a fanny pack to go fishing in.
No, see, a fanny pack makes sense to hold extra stuff next to you.
Oh, yeah.
But like one of those vests that has like the 15 pockets on it. Like, I mean, I'm not John Papa. I'm not holding my harmonicas.
You're right. It's like somebody who's like almost like what you would call a tourist.
Yes, exactly.
Where they're like wearing touristy stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you're not a real fisher. Real fishers
don't know what
don't
you're
wear
doing.
that vest.
Yeah.
So he's
So
got
this
the
is
shoes.
this is who those are for.
Very niche market. Yeah. I don't know. Like those things just seem pointless. The little pockets and bags.
Yeah, I don't know that I would ever use it, even if I needed the extra pocket. Like, having it on my foot seems stupid.
Yeah.
A fanny pack would be more appropriate. And cool, I don't have enough room because my fanny pack's full. Cool, I'll wear a second fanny pack. Like, I mean, even then, I'm
Dude,
like...
double fannies.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's
Yeah.
better than having to reach down to your feet.
Right, and then pull something out this big. Like, boop, got it. This tiny little thing that I needed to store in my shoe. That one's got, like, harbingers on it. The one on the right? I just noticed
What
that.
are harbingers?
Isn't that like those things that mountain climbers use? Like the little...
You mean a carabiner?
There you go. What's a harbinger?
No idea. No idea.
Dude, it's a thing. I don't remember what it is.
Harbinger?
Harbinger.
No idea.
It's got to be something.
Never heard of it.
A person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another. Witch hazels are the harbingers of spring.
Yeah, no idea.
I don't know.
Are
Maybe
you
I
talking
was
about
off.
this right here?
No, I was thinking on the right shoe. I just noticed them. See
Oh.
those what do you call them? Carabiner?
Carabiner. Oh, right here.
Yeah.
It's got a carabiner attached.
Like, that seems like it's got some value. Like,
I mean,
you
and it's
can-
got a buckle, so you can put extra shit down here if you wanted
Yeah.
to. What else would you put on your foot, though?
I know.
On your feet. It doesn't seem practical.
It doesn't seem practical at all, and they're super expensive. It's not like this is just something you go to Dollar General.
I didn't even look at the price.
I'm sure they're $75, $100.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right.
Ridiculous.
I mean, a pair of Crocs by themselves is like $6.50.
Right.
So, yeah, with the extra stuff, I can imagine.
So is the question, can I get behind these
so
Crocs?
can you get behind these Crocs?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Not even close. If you think that you can get behind it, you can convince me, leave it in the comments. Because I can't.
Exactly. And if I want a pair of custom shoes, I'm going to go to the Bowman and get some of those custom Nikes because those are sweet. And I can get whatever I want.
Yeah, but I think the Crocs are more about functionality than they are about looking cool. They don't care about the way they look. They care about being functional. Personally, I don't think they're functional. But...
True. Have you ever wore a pair, though?
No. I heard they're comfy, but I've never worn them.
I had a
so
pair
stupid,
a
I've never worn
long
them.
time ago, and I wish I remember what happened to them, but they were given to me by my mother-in-law. And they were too small for me, so I couldn't even wear the back strap thing on them. I wore them like house shoes. My feet just kind of blew out the back.
I mean,
and they were comfortable, but they weren't like earth-shattering, like, I gotta get a pair of these. Like, I moved on with my life and never looked back.
So I'll tell you this. My sister-in-law swears by them. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that she swears by them for herself personally. She swears by them for kids. Because they're the easiest thing to clean. You just spray them off with a hose and and they're good to go.
Yeah, if your kids are stepping in dog crap.
No, it's just in general because kids are dirty, right? I mean, I don't know about your kids. My kids, dirty shoes all the time. Do they walk around mud? No, they walk in it for some reason.
I can't remember the last time I washed any of my kids' shoes.
Like, so they come in with muddy shoes and I'll have to clean them off.
I feel like unless you stepped in dog crap, the shoes are going to be dirty. That's the life of a shoe.
Well, I'm just saying, I get muddy shoes because the kids go and play in the playground when they shouldn't be playing at school because it's muddy and they come up with muddy shoes. So what she says is cool. They get muddy, they get dirty, they get stinky, whatever it is. Hose them off, spray them, you're good to go.
Yeah, they seem perfect for
easy
beach.
maintenance. Easy maintenance.
Yeah, you get sand in them, you just... Yeah, they seem like some good beach shoes.
I will say they always bring them whenever we go camping, so yeah. Camping shoes.
I could get behind them. I wish they were cheaper. But, yeah.
I mean, you can go get the Walmart version.
Yeah, but then it's not like, it's embarrassing.
But there's a reason
not only do you have Crocs, but you have the cheap ones. That's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing enough to wear Crocs?
Yes.
You gotta get the cheap ones?
Yes, no. If someone's going to catch me wearing them, they got to be the name brand. I got to be like, show them. Like, no, these are Crocs.
Really?
These aren't cracks.
All right, man. So we're going to play a game called Pick 3. So I'm going to show you a picture of something.
Okay.
And the idea is you can only choose 3 of these images, okay? This one happens to be around music.
Yep.
So the only thing is, and we may have to do some additional research, I don't know what this upper right-hand corner album is, but I know what the rest of these are.
The upper left-hand corner?
Left-hand. You're right.
You're right. What is that? Is that Train? I'm going to guess that's a Train album.
Train album? Okay. Go ahead.
But right away I saw, so that Matchbox 20 CD was actually the very first album I ever owned as a kid. I had the CD for it. It's perfect. No, it doesn't look like Train. I just thought the text in the upper left-hand corner looks like Train text.
I mean, if it's something I don't recognize, it must not have been something I listened to.
It's U2. Look at the second row, third image. See the U2 ring?
Right here is a U2.
Yes, it's a YouTube album. See, and I've never been into U2, so immediately I think that one's going to be able to go for me.
See, I like U2, honestly.
I only know their singles, and I've never been sold on their singles. Yep.
I mean, I agree with you.
Octug, baby. What songs were on that album? Let's see if maybe...
So I will agree that I do know their singles, but their singles are good. One's good.
I can't even think how that one goes. So that Third Eye Blind CD is definitely... These are the albums that when I was a kid I loved.
Okay.
Matchbox 20, The Wallflowers, Third Eye Blind. I like the Foo Fighters too, so it's hard because that was a fourth one. I liked Oasis too.
But however, for me, for Oasis, it wasn't the whole album.
It wasn't, but that singles. Wallflowers whole album was good.
Oh, that Wallflowers was good. This one had had one headlight. Mm-hmm. What else did it have on it?
I just know the songs. I don't know the names. But it had all their singles were on there.
For some reason, all I could think of was one headlight. Yeah. I don't know why.
You can drive it home with one headlight.
But there's another really popular song off that album.
As soon as we'll see it, we'll know exactly what it was. I think it was that We Can Be Heroes.
For just one day. Yeah, no, that's not by them. That's Heroes by the guy with the lightning bolt on his face.
Nah. Well, they redid it then.
Oh, did
I didn't
they?
know. Yeah, because I didn't know that was a remake.
Yeah, I knew that it. Yeah, he's the one that originally did, because I know the Toadies did a cover of it, but it's 6th Avenue Heartbreak is what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah. I love that song. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, both those songs were really good.
So that's what I'm going to go. I'm going to go Third Eye Blind, Matchbox 20, and Wallflowers, only because when I was young, man, those CDs would put me to sleep every night. What would you do on the 3?
I was thinking the Wallflowers, Third Eye Blind, but I'm going to go with the Foo Fighters, because that Foo Fighters album is good. I mean, you're going to disagree with me.
I love
just
that
because
album.
of the way that because I'm a bigger Foo Fighter fan than you are, but it is, in my opinion, one of the greatest albums to ever come out.
This is the one Foo Fighters album I love.
And it's, honestly, every song's good.
Let's see if there's any that I know. I know it's like, isn't that one song on there that's like, I talked about it, carried on.
No, that is Big Me, I think.
They knew. Oh yeah, but it has Everlong, it has Monkey Ranch.
The song that you're thinking of, didn't they do like a Mentos commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Futos.
What's that song called? It's not, yeah, maybe it is Big Me.
I think it is Big Me. That sounds right.
Yeah. But it has Monkey Ranch, Hey Johnny Park,
yeah,
My Hero, Everlong.
Yeah.
February Stars is really good. Man, I think the whole album, front to back, is actually really good.
Yeah, it was a good one, dude. When I was a kid, I loved this album.
So I really appreciated this album once I got into them later on. I mean, I obviously knew these singles like Monkey Ranch and My Hero, but once you actually get into it, the whole album, front to back, is good. Mm. Now, I said Third Eye Blind because, I mean, what did they have on it? It's got
Symmetron Kind of Live.
Yeah, but it has more than that, and that's the thing, is that it's got all their singles.
Yeah, it does. I know.
And I say, outside of that album, they're not that good.
I don't know anything outside that album. Yeah. Oh, really, a lot of these albums are that way. Jumper. Yeah.
How's it gonna be? How's it gonna
graduate.
be?
And I graduate.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Gotta get my punk ass off the streets.
Right.
Oh, man, dude, I forgot about that song. Yeah.
But I definitely will say this is... outside of this, they don't need to play anything else. If I'm going to go see them live and they don't play this whole album, then they do a good show.
They're going to be coming to Hot Summer Nights, Sherman.
I hope they do. I would totally go.
I mean, we saw Hoobastank the year before. Charity was like,
Fuel, didn't
I
you?
didn't get to see him. I didn't know. I saw it online. I was like, dude, Fuel was in town.
Yeah.
And Charity's like, oh, yeah, I saw that. I forgot to tell you about it. I was like, you forgot? Like, I was bummed, dude. Like, I'm like, how do you forget to tell me that Fuel... Like, I loved Fuel, dude.
Yeah.
I would still love Fuel. I feel like they're underrated for 90s alternative.
I think...
you don't think of Fuel a lot when you think of it.
Right. Yeah, I don't. I think... For some reason, my mind goes to, like, early 2000s. Now, granted, I may be wrong when they came out with stuff. It may have come out right around it may have been in the 90s. But my mind goes to early 2000s for whatever reason.
Fuel is grand. Look, yeah. This Sunburn album is the one from the 90s.
When did this come out? Oh, 97. Oh, it came out in 96. Okay.
Fuel does a cover of Daniel, which Daniel is a Elton John song.
By Elton John, yeah.
I love that song, dude.
Or something like...
But I don't even like the Elton John version. I just love the Fuel version.
This one had Hemorrhage.
Yeah.
This is the album that I was thinking of, which was the year 2000, so not too crazy.
Yeah.
Early. Anything after that, I'm going to be honest, I'm not I don't know.
Me neither, dude. We moved on with our lives.
Right. So, I've got to give some credit to the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah, but I would have done the other album with the little kid on it.
Really?
Yeah, there's a better Goo Goo Dolls album.
Why do I think that this is the only one that comes to mind?
I think it's like hands, like a parent and their child holding hands like the kid's in front of them.
Well, let's see. Cause,
Wikipedia. Let's see. It might have just been their self-titled album. 87 was their self-titled album? That's nuts. Right here.
Oh, The Boy Named Goo?
Yes, this was their album.
They had name.
Let me see what else we got.
I mean, I was never a huge fan of them. I thought they had a couple of good hits.
The thing is, I just don't know the names of songs. I would just listen to the album.
That is not true at all.
Well,
We have played Name That Song on this show, and you name them all.
Well, a
From
lot of
bands, I'm like, I've never heard of them. I've heard the song, never heard of that band. Never heard the name of that
Well,
song.
a lot of times I can just sing the song and then, like the chorus is the name of the song.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't know what the song's called until I listen to it. Dizzy Up. Let's see what songs are on here.
I think this is the one. Yeah, this has Slide.
Dizzy, Slide. Nah, Slide.
I mean, Slide is a Slide and Iris, where they're Slide,
yeah.
Iris, and then whatever song was on the other one, where they're their biggest hits.
Iris was like Sleepless in Seattle. I think it might have even been on the soundtrack for Sleepless in Seattle.
You think so?
Either Sleepless in Seattle or there was a sequel to it called like You Got Mail. Might have been that one.
City of Angels.
City of Angels. Okay. Either way, close. Look, Meg Ryan. Isn't she in Sleepless in Seattle?
I don't know.
She is, dude.
I think it's Tom Hanks instead of
Of
Nicolas
Cage. Yeah. It just shows my being a kid watching MTV all the time. All I know is like what they showed me. Meg Ryan, dude. What happened to her?
I don't. To be honest, I don't know if I know a lot of her movies.
She had a lot when we were young, but
Yeah, but what did I watch?
she
when I
fell
was
off
young?
the map.
That's the thing, though. What movies did I watch whenever I was young? I didn't watch adult movies.
You probably didn't watch Sleepless in Seattle. I've never seen
No.
it. When Harry Met Sally, she did a lot of these like romance.
You've got mail.
Look, every one of them is her standing across from a dude. Tom Hanks. What's the guy on the far left? He's the guy who's from Monsters Inc. Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal, yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks was in both of these.
Yeah, because one was a sequel.
Oh! You're for real? Was it an actual sequel?
Yeah, You Got Mail.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
To Sleep. I've never seen either one of them. So.
Yeah, neither.
But yeah, what happened to her? She fell off the map.
I mean, honestly, you make money and get out.
That's
Which
what
she
I think.
actually has been doing.
Do you know what? You're right. When it comes to actors, that's one thing that blows my mind. How much work it takes to like be an actor.
Yeah.
It takes like it consumes your life, and then they keep doing it even though they don't have to. I'm like, why are you doing this 30 years later? You made $50 million already.
Right. Like, I read an article. I didn't read the article. I just read headlines, unless I care. And I read a headline recently about Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
How he made enough money as a kid, and he just stopped acting and said, you know what? I'm set. I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, he's done a few as an adult, but not much.
But not a lot.
It's
He's
like
not,
that
he's
I'll Be
not
Home for
staying,
Christmas.
He's not staying consistent with it.
Nah, I wonder what the last movie was that he actually did.
JTT.
I bet it was that I'll Be Home for Christmas or whatever, the classic Christmas story where you're trying to travel across town as fast as you can.
I don't know if I can spell his name. Hold on.
Yeah, you added a lot of extra letters in there.
Yeah, I can't type.
Jonathan Taylor. Oh, dude, you are way off. Taylor's like Taylor. I bet you could have put JTT.
Probably.
Oh,
This isn't even the
It
right
did?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Hold on.
yeah, one movie for this knockoff JTT.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't recall him doing. Yeah, these are the ones.
The Lion King. I forgot he was that. Tom and Huck. Home Improvement was big, but he kind of like got big from Home Improvement and left it behind.
Yeah, so he did Home Improvement and stuff. He did Wild America, just a
Wild
bunch of this
America.
stuff here. So he ended Home Improvement in 1998. Since '98, he's done a couple of things.
Yeah, I mean, you can't put voice acting on there. Like Wild Thornberrys. To me, if you're able to hold a script like this, it takes away all the effort of being an actor.
I would disagree.
I feel like the
would
effort's
think
not there.
I would think it's more difficult to be a voice actor than it would to be a regular actor, because you don't have to do all the movements, you don't have to do all the facial expressions. You just have to make your voice do it, and you have to make it seem believable without being able to show emotion within your face.
I mean, there's got to be a different level of difficulty to it, but I just don't imagine it being harder to prep. Like, if I'm an actor...
prep is not near as hard.
Like,
I would say
imagine
that.
I'm a skilled actor, right? I've been acting for a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like I could come in and be like, hand me the script, and then just do it. No prep work, no like jumping into character like these actors do, where they live it in their life and they really try to embrace being this person. I don't know. I feel like you don't have to do that with I was going to say Toy Story. So I was thinking of Tom Hanks. I know. I feel like even Tim Allen was Buzz Lightyear. I just feel like you just read the script and just put the right voice influx.
I would say there's not near as much prep work involved for sure. And I mean, honestly, most cartoons where you're going to need voice acting, they don't require like super good acting.
Yeah.
So you don't need Leonardo DiCaprio to go in there and cry for you.
Right. Yeah, you don't need to
do
feel
something like really crazy. Yeah.
A lot of times you don't even you're like, this voice sounds familiar, but you don't even recognize who it is.
Oh yeah. No, that happens all the time.
And I wonder if it's because they're not trying as hard. Just a theory. Just throwing that out there.
I can imagine that.
Sometimes I'm like, is this person even the same person?
But then again, I've seen this in Hollywood, that there are a handful of actors that I would say are extremely good. Most actors, acting? No, just in general.
Oh yeah,
general actors. Most of them, I would say, play one role really, really well, so they get, what do they call it? They get jobs for that same role, just in different movies.
Yeah.
An example would be, Will Ferrell is one of them.
For sure.
But honestly, I look at somebody like Chris Evans.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's the same guy in every film.
Yeah.
Jason Statham, same guy in every film. The Rock, same guy in every film.
I don't know. The Rock, yeah. Jason Statham, yeah. What was the first one you said?
Chris, who plays Captain America.
Oh.
Chris Evans.
Okay, I thought you were talking Chris Evans. Yeah, he's the same.
He plays the same character, even if he's in different movies.
Because, who's the guy who plays Star-Lord? Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, oh yeah.
Chris Pratt, he's got a little bit of range. But he definitely has fallen into
this
role. Well, look at him in, like, Parks and Rec.
Oh,
He plays an idiot.
You're right there, but that was one of his first roles.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think of some more serious. He's had serious roles, too. But then, like, I know what you mean. Chris Pratt has fallen into this, like, middle-aged man role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's what happens with a lot of actors. I'm not saying that they're not good, like, but they still make money.
The Jurassic Park movies, I'm like, it's the same stuff. But it's different. The Jurassic Park is different than, Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a really good character he does there. However, it's kind of like his comedic role. And it's like, he's got his comedic Chris Pratt or his not comedic.
So he may have a little bit more range than the average person. But, like, even actors that I really like, let's say, like, Bruce Willis, do you think he has a lot of range?
No, I don't think Willis has ever had a lot of range.
I mean, he's good in a lot of movies. Like, don't get me wrong, the movies are great. But is it because of his acting that makes the movie great?
Yeah, well...
It's not like you see Leonardo DiCaprio and say The Revenant and go, his acting made that movie so good.
Leo's good.
Leo's good. That's one where I would say the acting made that movie better than it probably would have been with another actor.
Yeah.
So I go, but there's a lot of actors that I go, they can just be replaced. Just find somebody else that can do the same thing.
Well, I guess the difference is, the reason why they seem like the same actor is because they're able to seem natural. And that's what makes you a good actor. Like, this is me acting like a real person. When somebody's not acting like that, versus a method actor who's able to get into the role of other people.
Right, which is what Leo does, yeah.
Leo's a method actor.
You know what, now that you say that, because I think of, like, somebody like Robert De Niro. Plays a really good mobster. Even when he tries to do these funny movies like Meet the Parents, he still seems like a mobster.
Yeah, he just seems like he's not acting. He's just like,
he's just being himself.
I'm just delivering this line the way it needs to be delivered.
Right, he's just being Robert De Niro.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe there's just a lot to say about somebody who's able to make it seem easy. And just go out there and just do their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not like talking shit about acting.
We're not, but we do get tired of it, though. Whenever you make a bunch of movies, it's like, you should have retired. You should have taken 20
Samuel
years
Jackson,
off.
I love you, but MF or here and there, like, it's rinse and repeat.
Take 20 years off, come back as an old man, and we'll love you again. You know what I mean? JTT, come back, bro. We need you. This goes full circle. We need Jonathan Taylor Thomas to come back. And then act like that. If he acts like that same kid, then that's gonna be weird. Like, yeah, maybe not.
He will. He'll be in his 40s, acting like the same
Act
kid.
like a kid, yeah. Like Macaulay Culkin, he came back. It's like, no, you should have stayed gone. No, he got
The
weird.
last movie I saw him in was, I think it was called Monsters Ball. He played like a druggie.
Was he in that movie?
I think that's what it was called.
I know that movie. That's with Charlize Theron.
No, that's just called Monster.
Oh yeah, but she's a method actor.
Oh my
She's
gosh.
Good. She's good.
What they did for that movie, just in
Monsters
general,
Ball.
was ridiculous.
Yeah, this is the Billy Bob Thornton movie. This was good too. I haven't seen this one.
I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, it's Billy Bob Thornton and Halle Berry.
Yeah, but this isn't what I was thinking of then. No, this is not what I was thinking of. Hold on, let me see. How do you spell Macaulay?
I have no idea. Just butcher
There
it.
we
There we
go.
go.
It's close enough. He was in something with the word monster in front of it. No, it wasn't Monsters Ball though, because I've seen that one with Billy Bob and Halle Berry.
It's
Yeah,
been
I
a
like
while,
that
but
one.
yeah, it was good.
Which he was good in The Good Son.
That
Was
was a
actually really
good
good.
movie.
My Girl was good.
But that was Elijah Wood was in that movie too, and he killed it.
Right.
He made it really. They both did. They had like the evil kid, good kid vibe. That movie's good. They don't make good movies like that. Like unique movies like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even see it on here now.
Party Monster.
Yes. That's
Right
what it's
there.
called. Am I blind? Party Monster.
What?
Knew it had the name Monster in
This
it.
seems like a C movie.
He plays a.
Oh my gosh! Look at him right there.
He just plays a drug addict.
What? That is weird.
Yeah, it wasn't any good. I don't remember watching the whole thing. I just remember watching bits and pieces of
No,
it.
if I saw this movie sitting on the shelf at Blockbuster, I would never pick it up.
Honestly, I probably watched it at my brother's house because he may be different now, but he used to buy anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He'd either buy it or download it, figure out a way to get it,
Yeah.
because he just
Watch it
collected
all.
movies.
I collected them.
And this may be one that he bought or something, and I'm sure I watched part of it there. I don't remember watching the entire thing, but yeah, it was...
Oh, dude, this movie looks weird.
It's so weird.
It looks creepy. I don't even... It's kind of making me feel uncomfortable just looking at it.
All right, well,
Yeah.
we'll move on.
Yeah. That one have a nightmare tonight because of just seeing that little clip. That was weird.
So if you're picking three, you said Third Eye Blind, Wallflowers, and Matchbox 20.
100%.
Okay. I'll do the same thing. I'll just switch out Matchbox 20 for the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, I could see that.
So.
Matchbox 20 was my first pick, too, which is funny. I bet
Yeah.
Foo Fighters would be your first pick.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Mhm.
For sure. And these other ones, I'm like, yeah, they have a couple of hits, but
Yeah.
not as many hits as the others.
R.E.M., Counting Crows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah.
Cool. Well, shout out to Rollertown. I'm going to need to pay attention to their social media and see when they do something else fun, because they did sumo wrestling, which I never would have guessed.
What's
So
next?
it tells me that they're going to do something awesome next time.
Mm-hmm.
I was pleasantly surprised by this Japanese lager.
Yeah, it was good. I'm still
Apparently-
drinking it. It's a tall one.
Yeah, it's a rice lager, so they use rice to kind of help thin out the flavor. But honestly, I guess it's what I needed today.
Yep. Get it. Get yourself a Japanese lager, 4.25 on Untappd.
Untappd. Yep, make sure to follow us there. It's _ Dudes and Brews. You can follow us on Instagram as well, at _ Dudes and Brews as well. But we're out of here.
Peace.
Merchandise available, and this stuff is amazing. We've got a few awesome designs. We even have all new pint glasses and stickers. You know you want one of those glasses. I mean, you already drink a beer while watching the show anyway, so you might as well support the show and put your beer in one of our glasses. The link is in the description, so hit that link and pick up something from us today. Make sure that you use the code DUDES10 at checkout to receive 10% off your order. Again, that's DUDES, D-U-D-E-S, 10, the number 10, 10, at checkout to receive 10% off of your order. We appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of Dudes and Brews. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever platform you're on, we're on there. We have a YouTube channel, Dudes and Brews. We would love if you would subscribe there as well. If you are subscribed and you want to help us out just a little more, unsubscribe and resubscribe again. It sounds funny and stupid and kind of obnoxious, all of the subscribing and resubscribing and stuff, but it helps in these little algorithms games for like climbing the charts, because again, we are organic and we are where we are because of you guys.
Yeah, we really do appreciate your support. Shout us out. We really do love it when you guys interact with us, when you add us, mention us, put us on your stories, tag us, all that fun stuff, all the stuff the kids are doing. We like grabbing that stuff and we put it up for you guys. So we appreciate you so much. Keep having fun, drinking them brews, hanging with them dudes. Tune in next week for another episode of Dudes and Brews.